we're going to talk about what I consider to be one of the most important things I've ever found in life, which is the principle of excellence. The fact is simply this: your true success in life begins only when you make the commitment to become excellent at what you do. Without that commitment, you'll always perform at low levels, and you will never achieve your full potential. Every study of high-achieving men and women proves that greatness in life is only possible when you become outstanding at your chosen field. Dr. Shirley Blothnick of New York did a 20-year study into self-made millionaires, and what he found was that there were several key, specific qualities that differentiated the millionaires from those who didn't make it. The first one was that they specialized. Very early in their careers, they made the decision to do something that they enjoyed doing, and as a result of doing something they enjoyed doing, they became very good at it. Becoming very good at it, they were eventually paid very well. They became totally absorbed in their work. As a matter of fact, they became so totally absorbed in what they were doing that they were not even aware that they became millionaires. In addition, they were not gamblers or risk takers. Once they earned the money, they invested it carefully and let it accumulate. One day, they woke up and found that their net worths were over $1 million. Now, this is very important. They held on to their money. They saved it. First of all, they chose a field they enjoyed. Second of all, they became good at it. Third of all, they were paid very well. Fourth of all, they held on to the money. They did not invest in get-rich-quick schemes. They did not try to double their money quickly. Getting into something that they didn't know, that they hadn't specialized in, was the surest way to lose everything they'd earned. Now, the famous Pareto principle says that 80% of your results will come from 20% of your activities. In sales, especially, the rule says that 80% of the sales will come from 20% of the salespeople. In my experience, the top 20% in sales, and I've worked with thousands of the top salespeople in America, are always people who have made a conscious decision to become excellent in the field of selling. Prudential Insurance Company did a study of their thousands of agents a few years ago and found out that the 80-20 rule held true over wide geographic areas. 80% of their sales were coming from 20% of their salespeople. Then, when they sat down and looked at the figures and the statistics, they ran them through the computer and found that this worked out. The top 20 were earning on average 16 times that of the bottom 80. So, they decided to carry the study a little bit further. They compared the average income of the top 20 of the top 20, which is the top 4%. They found that the average income of the top 4% was 32 times the average income of those in the bottom 80. They took the study a little bit further and took the top 20 of the top 20% of the top 20, which is the top 0.8%. They found that the top 0.8% were earning on average 54 times that of the average of the bottom 80. Same product, same market, same price, same competition. In each state, there was at least one adult agent who earned more than 50 other full-time adult agents. In every case, the top people had made a decision a long time ago to be the best. Were the people in the top 20, 16 times better than the people in the bottom 80%? Were they 16 times faster, 16 times more experienced? Did they work 16 times harder? What about the people in the top 4%? Were they 32 times smarter? Did they work 32 times harder? No. In every single case, the difference that translated into enormous differences in income was just slight marginal edges, slight tiny differences in competence. And that's all that it takes. The top 20% in every field are just a little tiny bit better in certain areas than the bottom 80. Remember this: the top 20% in every field prosper in good times and bad. Excellence is the key to lifelong economic security. If you make the decision to become excellent at what you do, you have lifelong economic security. You don't have to worry about money. From then on, you only have to worry about how much you earn, of course, how much taxes you pay. Instead of trying to be hundreds of percent better in one area, concentrate on just being 1 or 2% better in hundreds of areas. This is the key to excellence. This is the key to high achievement. The same principles of excellence hold true for companies as for individuals. A perfect example is IBM. Have you talked to IBM people? If you look at IBM advertising, you'll find one point that has been made over and over for over 60 years. It's simply this: at IBM, we mean service. You know that if you buy a product from IBM, you want to get the best service in the world. Many people will pay far more for an IBM product that does exactly the same thing as another product because of the security they have, knowing if they buy from IBM, IBM will take care of them. In other words, IBM has developed an area of excellence is that nobody will compete with them on service, and that is the key perception in the minds of the millions of people who buy their products and sometimes pay more for their products throughout the world every year. Every single company has to have a competitive advantage that enables them to stand out from their competition. The market will always pay extra for qualities. The chief enemies of excellence are satisfaction and complacency. Most people settle for mediocrity all their lives, they never even think about becoming excellent. Remember, you will never feel really happy and secure until you know you are excellent at something. I think much of the unhappiness in the world today is because people get up in the mirror and the person who looks back at them isn't particularly good at anything. Now, it's not difficult to achieve excellence in your chosen field if you will do the following. 1. Make a decision right now today to commit yourself to becoming excellent at something. Set it as a top priority goal. 2. Remember, you will only be able to achieve excellence doing something that you love to do, something you care about, something that interests you and holds your attention. A key responsibility of adult life is to find the right field for your unique gifts. Here are some questions. How would you describe your ideal job? If you could have any job in the world, what job would it be? How would you describe it? Imagine a billionaire who's willing to give you any job that you wanted in the whole world. What would it be? The purpose of these questions is to stimulate your thinking. Remember, you can have or be or do almost anything you want in life if you can decide what it is. One of the things that you have to decide is what is going to be your area of excellence. If you can find what you love to do, you'll almost invariably find that you will love to do something that you're good at. Find what you love to do, and what you're good at and what you care about and what interests you. You'll get one of the greatest bursts of joy and satisfaction in the world. Your work will become your play. Your choice of the right job for you is one of life's critical decisions. But until you find the work you are meant to do, you'll never be happy, you'll never be satisfied, you'll never be really successful. Remember, you are put on this earth to do something remarkable, something unique. God does not play dice with the human race. Nobody on this earth is extra or redundant. For any reason, you're here for a specific purpose, and you're here to find your area of excellence and to throw your whole heart into it, and it becomes very, very good. It's in doing that you will make your great contribution on this earth. Number 3, once you've chosen your field, spend 1 hour per day and study to become better. This is so simple that it's devastating, but it's all you need to do. 1 hour per day in any field will put you in the top 5% in 3 years. I've made this claim in other places. I've told salespeople that if they will spend 1 hour every morning reading and studying in sales, and if they will listen to tapes on sales in their car when they're driving around, they will double their income in 90 days. I've had people come back to me and say that the very simple system of reading 30 to 60 minutes each morning and listening to tapes in their car has enabled them not to double but to triple their income, and not in 90 days, but in 30 days. Most people don't read. Most people don't learn. When you begin to read and learn and become excellent in your field, you begin to move out of the pack very, very rapidly. Remember, every excellent performance reinforces your self-esteem. It improves your self-image. It builds your self-confidence and improves your performance in every other area. Every single time you do something in an excellent way, it makes you feel great about yourself. But if you only do things in an average way, you don't get anything. You don't get any feeling of satisfaction. You don't get any burst of enthusiasm. You don't get any extra self-esteem. So always go the extra distance. Always do that little bit more that makes the job perfect, and it's completing that job perfectly that gives you that wonderful feeling of competence and mastery. When you begin moving toward excellence, you will find that there's very little real competition. Remember, the people in the top 20% aren't competing with the people in the bottom 80, they're only competing with the people in the top 20, and they're competing for degrees of excellence. Remember the 3 keys to excellence. 1. Know what you're doing. Take the time to learn, study, research, ask questions, and learn everything there is to know about your chosen field. 2. Believe in what you're doing. You can never become excellent doing something unless you really believe that you're making a difference, that your product or service or your efforts are really important in the world. 3. Love what you're doing. This is the key. Listen to your intuition, listen to your gut feeling. What is it that you really love to do, and don't make any excuses. I spoke to an executive from a major manufacturing company who told me about a salesman they had brought on staff 6 months ago. The salesman had no experience in the industry, but within 6 months, he was the top salesman in the country. I asked him why he was able to start with no experience or background in the industry and become the top in just 6 months, and he said, "Well, I don't know, really," he said, "but there's one thing that I do every day that I think has helped me," he said. "Every day when I get in the car for the first 10 or 15 minutes as I'm driving to my first appointment, I say over and over again, I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best." And I found that if you say over and over again, I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best, repeat it over and over again, it drives it down into the subconscious mind, and it causes you to perform better than sometimes you can imagine. So make the decision, visualize, affirm, repeat. Open up and visualize, See yourself as the very best in your field, and think about how you would look, what you would be, what qualities and attributes you would have, who you'd be working with, how you would dress, how you would walk, and so on. If you'll do that, there's nothing that can stop you from going to the top in your field. Do something every day to improve, study your performance, review and reflect on what you're doing, and what you would do differently. Ask yourself, what would I do? How could I improve it? Next time you see, if you review what you did right and if you think about what you would do differently, as you review and reiterate these points to drive them into the subconscious, they go into your programming so that the next time you're in the identical situations, your subconscious mind, looking out through your eyes, will say, I've been here before, and here's the right things to do. The big mistake, and the biggest mistake that you can possibly make, is to review what you did wrong, because if you review what you did wrong, inevitably, you will program that into the subconscious mind, and in the next similar situation, you will repeat the wrong performance. So always think about what you did right, always think about how you would improve. And here's the key to peak performance, and this comes from the research on peak performance. Prior to every important experience or situation, take a few minutes to recall your previous excellent performance. Seek out advice from other people who are good at their work. Ask the top people in your field for recommendations on books, take some courses, so seek out winners in your field, and you'll be astonished. Winners will always help other people win. Winners will always give you advice and tell you what books to read and what tapes to listen to. So seek out the very best people in your field. Say, I want to be good like you. What can I do? What can I change? How can I improve? What can I read? And they'll give you the advice. Finally, never even consider the possibility of not achieving your goal of excellence. If anyone else has done it, so can you. And I'm not saying that to achieve excellence is easy. It's very difficult. It requires tremendous self-discipline. It requires tremendous work on yourself. It requires hours and hours of arduous effort, late at night, instead of watching television or having fun. It requires a tremendous commitment. But every single step that you make on the road to excellence and every single excellent performance that follows will build your self-esteem, make you feel terrific about yourself, increase your income, enhance your self-image, and improve the overall quality of every area of your life. Commit yourself to excellence and get on that road to excellence. Never stop until you achieve it. One final point on excellence: remember that excellence is a journey, not a destination. You never arrive at excellence. The better you get, the more you realize how much more you can still improve. So, you'll never arrive. Get onto that road and stay on that journey to excellence, and stay on it for the rest of your career.